Well, good evening, everyone. Could someone please type in the chat, or Kelly, could you come off mute and let me know if everyone can hear me?
Hey, Jeanette, we hear you.
I don't see the PowerPoint up on the screen. Is everyone else seeing it? I see it
now. And
okay.
We're recording. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Southeast Shares. It's been a while since we've been together, and I noticed we're just getting more and more people to join. We had probably 50 to 100 that have registered, and a lot of times I think people like to just listen to the playback, but we're still going to go on with it. And I noticed a couple of our coaches, Tracy and Tyra, on. So welcome. Thanks so much for your support. And all of our guests and our representatives, we really appreciate getting together with you and being able to feature a lot of our great representatives. So I just wanted to just welcome everyone to this, our Southeast Region New Avon Facebook page. Many of you are already on. If you're not on, please make sure you join. It's Southeast Region New Avon. And as you notice on the screen, we have the Home for the Holidays. Avon is bringing the holidays to you with our Home for the Holidays sales rallies. So we're hoping that everyone can get to one of our rallies across the country. So make sure you go to youravon.com and go down and scroll down to your Beauty Buzz, and you'll see where all the locations are. We'd love to see you there. So tonight we have a very, very special guest, and I'm just so thrilled because Carol Wilkerson is going to be speaking this evening about working her Avon business and working from your heart. But along with that, Carol's also going to share with us her experience and her feelings about being the Woman of Enterprise of 2009. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and have you go ahead and move the slides, Kelly. And the questions slide is up right now. So when anyone has questions or you'd like to make comments, please type them in the chat box. We'll see if we can, answer those this evening. Carol may be able to answer that, but we want to hear from you. And I'm sure that she will be happy also, even after the call and when you see the recording, that you can contact her by her phone or her email, which is also posted on the next screen here. So Carol, let me explain a little bit and introduce you a little bit about Carol. Some of you may already know Carol. She has been with Avon for 799 campaigns. That's over 30 years. I would say that Carol has a lot to offer, a lot to share, and a lot of knowledge. She's a gold leader from Liberty, Kentucky, and a Rose Circle representative. So with that, Carol, I'd love for you to unmute yourself and just go ahead and you can share your thoughts. If you're having problem coming off mute, I know you were dialing in. If you can just call me from a landline or call my phone, I will put you on speakerphone. Okay, everyone. I believe we have Carol with us now. Kelly, please let us know if you can hear her. Go ahead, Carol.
Hi, Kelly. Is everyone online?
Hey, Carol, we're so excited to talk to you today.
Yes, go ahead, Carol.
Hey. This is Carol Wilkerson. I'm online from Kentucky, and I'm so excited to be on here this afternoon. I was proud to be chosen to speak tonight because I had sent in that I work my business from my heart. Always keep your Avon business to dear to your heart. And I've been selling Avon for 30 years now, over 30 years this year. I started in January. And it seems like through the years I've changed my business around. I had to kind of go with the flow as things change through your life. We've all had different things come up, but we always find a purpose for our Avon business. And Avon has been really good to me because it's able to be flexible, and I can run my Avon business no matter what else is going on with my life. What I meant whenever I said I always work my business from my heart is that I find that everyone gets involved with maybe Relay for Life, the American Cancer Society. We can also get involved with their diabetes, or whether there's heart problems, or there's just all kinds of things that everybody is affected by. And I think if we put our heart into that and help people raise money for things like that with benefits and fundraising, that it always comes back to us. It doesn't matter where we go or who we see out. Someone is always going through some type of problems in their life. And I feel like that Avon has allowed me to be able to give back. Right now, I mean, years ago, I wouldn't have never thought about this being affected by my family, but my father he's had a stroke, and he's got dementia now. And so his mother also had Alzheimer's. So that's something that has really hit me hard, to try to learn to focus my life around a totally different atmosphere of people that I was used to being with. So now I try to help and give back. I try to find groups that are raising money and doing Alzheimer's walks. And I work with the elderly. I volunteer for the nursing homes. And I give back through my Avon sales where we fundraise and we raise money for the Alzheimer's walks. We raise money for elders' vacations. We raise money for them to just have maybe a petting zoo come in for the day, or even they've had magic shows. And so there's always something different. You don't have to think about fundraising being always for a huge school. I have done fundraising with groups of 450 students, and that came in a roundabout way because one of my friends was the kindergarten teacher, and she was involved with the PTO. So they were looking to put in new playground equipment, and I jumped right on it. I was like, I know how we can raise some money to do this. So from there, it kind of fell into a routine that every group that needed to raise money, they were automatically looking at Avon. And so it's kind of a snowball effect. I went to a meeting to introduce it for exchange students, for some students that was taking a European trip in the summertime. And on my way out the door, a lady stopped me and said, well, what about my group? Our group is the business and professional women locally, and I had not heard of them, but they were they're a federated group across the United States, and they raise money. They raise money for hospice care. They give money for a local scholarship to a young woman each year deserving at their high school. And so they needed different ways to raise money. So they have been my biggest fundraiser this past year, and they said, we won't even have to do much more. They had been having to do yard sales and bake sales and selling candles and selling candy bars, and they did one Avon fundraiser, and I was like, it just touched me so much to know what all that they were giving it back to, that I got involved with the group. I actually became a member of their group, and I have been asked to attend the regional and state conferences that they included my Avon business in it, and I set up as a vendor at the state conference. So it's just a snowball effect. So if you keep your mind open and just basically bloom wherever you're planted, wherever Avon takes you, wherever your life takes you, if you will just start using your Avon business to help others and be there for other women, it just seems like it'll blossom that way. I know over the past few years I have earned several Avon trips, and that's what keeps me going. That is my drive. I want a free vacation out of it because for the past 20 years, everybody has known Avon sending me somewhere. So they're like, where are you going this year? So I'm always pleased to tell them about these all-inclusive trips, whether it's the Bahamas or to Mexico or Hawaii or wherever is going on, because they in return, they are always happy for you, and they always want to see you develop and see your business. They want to see it build. So my main thing is to find a passion and put your heart into it. We never know when we're going to be affected by anything. Years ago, I did a fundraising with March of Dimes with the local American Greetings group, a factory here, local. And little did I know that a few years later that my niece would have premature twins. And so they are now March of Dimes ambassadors. So as years ago I was raising money for March of Dimes, it came back to where now I actually have family members walking in the walk to help bring awareness to the premature and the March of Dimes. So it really all comes around in full circle a lot of times if you just put your passion into it and keep Avon as your purpose. I know I was telling Jeanette on the phone the other day, sometimes I do like to go out of town, and we go fishing in Alabama, and I think that's where I met Kelly. I was on a fishing trip, but my vacation to myself was over by the time I got through the state line. I was ready to get back to work with my Avon, so I start looking around on Facebook and actually call up and find out where the meetings are, and try to attend and meet some new people and find out their ideas of how they run their business in a different part of the United States. So that it's never ending. You can always use your talent, and if you just don't stay bored, use your talents to bring in different ideas. It changes from the first of the month to the end of the month. I rotate my customers around to where I don't hit them each time. They're not the same customers. It rotates so that I'm not overwhelming them with purchasing, and it's just like the seasons. The seasons change. We're not going to sell the same products in the wintertime that we do in the summertime. I know my bug guard sales are getting ready to go down because summertime has ended, and hopefully it's ended. It was 93 degrees, but I'm hoping it'll end, and then we'll start with our Christmas sales, and it's just a cycle that will return, and you have to be prepared for that. You have to be ready and have to be flexible for your business to rotate. And I've always enjoyed letting my new recruits know that Avon, the brochure, is like your own personal little boutique. They have a new door opener for you every campaign, every 2 weeks. It's just like you had your boutique, your little shop, and you have a display in the front window. Well, Avon does you they do you a whole new display every 2 weeks to bring new people into your store, whether it's with clothing or with the holiday items. But I like that it's a new door opener. The people that you may have seen last week that wasn't interested in the lipstick on the front cover, but they might be interested in the candles the next time. So it's a rotating business that you can definitely help and find people out there that love our products. And I've been very proud to be part of that for 30 years.
Wow. Well, thank you so much, Carol. And, I'm sure that everyone on this webinar is sitting there thinking to themselves, man, this woman has passion. Whether you've been with Avon for 1 week or over 30 years, you are still out there thinking of new ways to touch people's lives. No wonder you were a Woman of Enterprise of 2009. I mean, you definitely are committed to women's empowerment and entrepreneurship. One of the things that I'm sure stood out, because I noticed even, Tracy, you typed this and I wrote it down. I love your quote, Carol, bloom where you are planted. That is so powerful. And it speaks from your heart, as you talked about your purpose and how, fundraising has really come alive for you. And it's because you're always opening your eyes and your ears, and you're watching and looking and seeing where others need help. Appreciated your speaking about your own story about your father and your grandmother, and just always trying to give back to the community. But anyway, this was very powerful, very simple. I mean, think about everyone on the line. Think about your own Avon business, and how you treat your business. Is it part of your everyday life? And that's what Carol has made it, and it's just blossomed for her. Bloom where you are planted. Kelly, did you want to add anything, or maybe ask Carol about the Women of Enterprise?
Well, I'm sitting here in awe because, to your point, Jeanette, it was really simple. But you know what I was thinking? For starters, Carol, congratulations, because you said something at the very beginning. You started off by talking about how long you've been with Avon and how you've reinvented yourself, because whether it's your life that changes or whether the business changes, or let's face it, in the scope of 30 years, like everything, what doesn't change, right? But you love this business so much, and your passion for the people and for the products, you've just made it your point to say, you know what, I'm going to be flexible. And I wrote that down, that you said that you reinvented yourself and to be flexible. And through that, how you have evolved to the point where you found your purpose in giving back. My only question to you is this. I would bet that there are people who are on tonight or who will listen to the replay who have never done a fundraiser. And you talked a lot about finding in your reinvention over the years, your purpose and giving back, and your story. Thank you for sharing your story. It's so powerful. But if somebody's listening and they've never done a fundraiser, what would your number one recommendation to them be?
Well, of course, Avon has built over the years. We had to kind of create our own fundraising, back 20 years ago. So we used the whole brochure. Honestly, we just used the whole brochure. And then I was glad that they came out with the flyers like they did, because you do have groups that says let's just sell the bug guard. I had a softball group that said we just want to do the bug guard. But they wanted it plain and simple. Or you might have some that just want to do the makeup, and Avon offers that. But what I've honestly run into is I had customers that told me we would have ordered from that fundraiser, but they didn't have our perfume on it. It was only bug guard. So I just said, order what you want. Order what you want. So I offer the entire brochure. It's not overwhelming. It's not. It's just one big, huge order. Break it down. Like if you do a school, break it down to each classroom. Just keep everybody separate. You can break down teams. If you're working on with a softball team or something, just break it down into 2 or 3 girls together. Make it as easy as possible for that group. I don't want them to have to handle the products. I want it to come back to them in the bags, ready for the girls to take home, or the boys. Some of my top sellers are boys. I've done it with football teams. I've done it with archery, with rodeo, team ropers. I've done it with, you name it. Anybody that comes along, if I see them selling anything, I come up to them and I say, what are you raising money for? Let me show you how I would do it. And if it's a car wash or anything going on. But I offer them a percentage, and I fix the fundraiser packs for them so that they have the order booklet, the brochure, a collection envelope, and a letter giving them all the instructions of when the date is. I give them my information, how to best reach me. I give them my cell phone number, my home number, my email, how to find me on Facebook in case they have questions. And so it works out pretty well. I haven't had any problems, and I get repeat sales from it. We always get new customers or maybe even new recruits from when I do fundraising. So it opens up a whole new door to people that maybe I can't get into their office to sell or their workplace, and it just opens it up. And just think of it as a new helper for that campaign, and it will build your business.
What I hear you say, and kind of referencing something you shared with us as you were sharing your story, is coming across the community organization that needed a new playground. So what I hear you say is that you're just actively listening. You're meeting people, and as you listen to them, thinking maybe they'll become a customer, maybe they'll become a recruit, but you listen and they give you all the answers, and then based on what they share with you, you make it easy for them to do business with you, whether that business is a fundraiser that's the whole brochure, or whether you're utilizing one of our fundraising flyers, you make it easy for them. And how much you get back out of it because it's become your purpose while you're helping them get something that they need, you in turn are fulfilled in so many ways. And I think that that's such a powerful message that I know I'm taking away from it tonight. I would bet everybody else on the call is too. And as we head into the fourth quarter, the holiday selling season, a time when there are people in need who can use Avon, whether it's a fundraiser or the opportunity or just your customer service that only we can provide here at Avon. I think your message is so timely, Carol, and I thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you. I appreciate y'all having me. I can't wait for the holiday rallies. I'm going to be attending the one in Lexington, and so I appreciate y'all bringing it to Kentucky for us. If you hadn't, I guess I'd had to come to Alabama. But
well, you can come to Alabama too and share your story again. Sorry, Jeanette.
It takes me sometime. It might be Orlando or Las Vegas. Sorry, I've got to go to a meeting. So that's the great opportunity about it.
Right.
Well, thank you so much. Actually, I was going to segue into a close that Carol just did for me, actually. Jeanette opened with the fact that we are in the midst of our Home for the Holidays, bringing Avon to you in your local areas. We're really excited to be in Kissimmee this coming Saturday. By the way, Kissimmee is essentially Orlando, Florida. So if you are in and around or in drivable distance to Orlando, Florida, come see us this coming Saturday. I think that a lot of our registrations are full, but you know what? There's room for more. I promise you that. So Orlando, Kissimmee area this coming Saturday. Then the following Saturday, September 29th, we're going to be in Birmingham. And then the first Saturday in October, we'll be in Lexington, Kentucky. Carol will be there too. Come see her. And then if you haven't seen already, I know, come share your story again, but we'll hug your neck. We're looking forward to that, to seeing you, Carol, and hopefully so many of you guys in one of the upcoming weekends. If you are anticipating on attending Greensboro, North Carolina, I saw just this afternoon on Facebook, on our Southeast Region Facebook page, that they are doing a survey to find out the best date to reschedule that Greensboro, North Carolina event. So if you are planning on attending that event, be sure to take that survey and give your input as to the best date for you, for us to reschedule that Greensboro location. But regardless of where it is, we hope to see you soon as we come home for the holidays and bring them to you locally. They're going to be really super events. I don't know about you, but I took so many notes. I'm so inspired by Carol, listening to her tonight and just being with you all on this call, or if you're listening to the replay, just reminds me how much we love this Southeast Shares platform, and look forward to doing this every 2 weeks, which we will now be back on track with. But if you have any questions for Carol that you didn't get to tonight, be sure to revisit the call. We'll have the link to the replay reposted on our Southeast Region Facebook page so that you can listen back to all the inspiration that was shared. So on that thread, be sure to post any of your questions for Carol that you might still have. But otherwise, we just look forward to seeing you again 2 weeks from today. That's going to be Thursday, October the 4th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central. So until then, we want to know, what is your hot tip? Because we know you have them. Oh my goodness. We hear from you guys often, whether it's on our Facebook group or from your mentors or from your coaches, and hearing all kinds of fun outside the box tips, or maybe it's a fundamental tried and true technique. We see your business growing. We've seen record breaking additions and title movement in the recent campaigns, and we want to know all about it. So if you have a hot tip, be sure to let us know, because we would love to feature you on an upcoming Southeast Shares call. So until next time, which is 2 weeks from today, we hope that you guys have a good evening. Thanks so much for joining us or for listening to the replay, and we look forward to seeing you again very, very soon. Jeanette, anything to add before we close it up?
Nope, just have a great weekend and hope to see everyone at our Come Home for the Holiday events.
That's right. Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
Running out of breath, but I got stamina.